This I shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I rasta, I go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepared a table before I, in the presence of our enemy them. Uno anointed I head with no oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy, I go follow I all the days of my life. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Jah, get them away. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is the headquarters of the truth. Because here, we are not neutral, and we have never claimed to be. We have taken sides, the side of the truth. That is why we keep saying, affectionately, we are the headquarters of the truth. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot. And each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some really good amount of heating. At the end of the day, they produce sumptuous food for the nourishment of the whole family in all its palatability. That is what we do exactly here. We pick up ideas from all walks of life, the rank and file of our continent. Then we subject that to some really beautiful forensic scrutiny. Then we sieve out the creme de la creme of all these ideas and use that for the development of our land, our people, our continent, and even more, humanity. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. You could call it nationalism. And of course, my name is Blakk Rasta. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you and I love you. We are live on Facebook, also live on YouTube. You can also find us on TikTok, also on X, and then on the beautiful social media platform that you are on. My brother, my sister, Instagram. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. We love to do business with you, and your business will thrive on this show. It is the #1 platform on social media, my brother, my sister, that is making all the waves in Ghana and the whole of Africa right now. We are authenticated when it comes to news delivery and, of course, consciousness and Pan-Africanism. I am most excited that you have made us #1 and we love you. Now, today we have 3 very important issues to look at. And we've been doing a lot of research from yesterday, and it took us time to be able to complete all the research. And when we start, you would realize how much research we have done. My brother, my sister, forgive us for the late start of the show. That is why I keep saying, please subscribe to the channel and hit on the notification button. Sometimes we might not be able to come on time, so that at least when we are on, you'll be notified to watch. We are going to do everything we can to always be on time, like we usually do. But once in a while, the research might take a little bit longer, you know, and we'll come later. Forgive us, my brother, my sister. Do me a favor, share the broadcast so many more people can be part of this show. Recommend this channel to many more people, and Let's build that beautiful family of truthfulness, Pan-Africanism, patriotism, nationalism, all the isms and schisms that are positive. Let's be part of this. Today I have 3 very important issues to look at, and you are going to be shocked. Story number 1. Watch this, my youth. Kwame Nkrumah's biggest regret after Kulungungu Bömb. And this is Samia Nkrumah talking to us. Now, who is Samia Nkrumah? This is Samia Nkrumah, the only daughter of the Osajifo, Kwame Nkrumah. She at a point was an MP for Elembele. She is a woman who has been pushing the legacy of Kwame Nkrumah. In fact, Samia Nkrumah's mother, Fatia Nkrumah, has demonstrated so much love that a human being could show to a man. She was less than 20 years the age of Kwame Nkrumah when they got married. In other words, Kwame Nkrumah was more than 20 years older than Fatia Nkrumah when they got married. 2 of her sisters refused to marry Kwame Nkrumah when Gamal Abdel Nasser talked to them trying to find a wife, a Pan-African wife for Kwame Nkrumah around the independence of Ghana in 1957. It fell on this pretty lady called Fatia Reeds. She's a Coptic Christian. You may call her a Catholic. And she was just beginning to study a bit of English when she came to Ghana at independence to marry Kwame Nkrumah. She hardly could speak English properly. But she got married to a man she never knew, a man she had never seen except the photograph. And with time, she demonstrated that she was not getting married to a celebrity. She was getting married to a man who would be a lover for life. When Kwame Nkrumah died in 1972, she insisted that she be buried alongside Kwame Nkrumah when she also died. Fatia Nkrumah, even in the turmoil of coup d'etats and bombs blowing all over the country, all in the name of hatred for Kwame Nkrumah, she stood firm in the country. When guns were blazing all over the place in 1966 during the coup, and threats were unleashed to her that she would be slaughtered, she still remained in this country, flew out briefly to Egypt, and returned to the nation. My brother, my sister, all for the love of the nation and also for Kwame Nkrumah. Now, the most touching part of the story is the fact that Fatia Reeds, aka Fatia Nkrumah, pronounced it clearly that when she died, she wanted to be buried alongside her husband, Kwame Nkrumah, who she was only married to for 8 years. And out of the 8 years, 3 very beautiful children were born. Gamal, named after Gamal Abdel Nasser, his very good friend. Sekou, after his other friend, Sekou Toure. And then also Samia. My brother, my sister, it's an interesting thing happening. This is a photograph of Kwame Nkrumah and, of course, the ever beautiful Fatia Nkrumah with Samia right in the middle. This is a very memorable photograph that many Ghanaians know. But today, what are we talking about? Kwame Nkrumah's biggest regret. And that big regret came after the Kulungungu bombing in 1962. Now, let's first and foremost look at this very important thing. Samia has been talking about Nkrumah over and over. Anytime she grants an interview, people would dig into her father's life. And she's always generous to talk about this great figure, the Osajifo. Recently, she said I don't wish that the so-called Kotoka International Airport is renamed after my father. Even when my father was alive, he named it the Accra International Airport. And for that matter, just give it back its name. Or else we might be sending signals out that are wrong. Are we honoring a coup maker? My brother, my sister, even at this point, the Ghana state is fighting against the name Accra. We saw the Gamanche speaking to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and pleading with the president to change the name of Greater Accra region to Gadangbe region. Is it because it was the Akans who named Accra Nkrai? And Nkrai simply means ants. History tells us that when they came all the way into this part of the country today called Accra, they saw a lot of ant hills and ants all over the place. So the Akans, the Ashantis to be specific, decided to call it Nkrai. Are the Gans not too happy about the fact that Accra was named by another ethnic group? Does it really matter? Does it represent the land or not? Is that why they want to change the name from Accra to Gadangbe? Would it be called Gadangbe region and still be called Accra, or the name Accra would also be changed? Maybe Samia would have to wait a little bit so that when this is resolved, then we can now agree on the name of the airport. Would it still be the Accra International Airport as it was originally, or the Gadangbe International Airport? My brother, my sister, we have a lot of issues to talk about. Now, the great Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah in 1962 went all the way to Burkina Faso to meet another stalwart of Pan-Africanism, Maurice Yamiogo. Maurice Yamiogo was a president of Burkina Faso. He was well loved. In fact, a great guy. Later, of course, he lost goodwill. And the people started attacking him. But why did Nkrumah go all the way to meet with Maurice Yamiogo at a place called Tinkodogo? Tinkodogo is a Mosi area. My brother, my sister, and we also have a lot of Bisas in the area. Those people you call Busanga, their real name is Bisa. My brother, my sister, when Nkrumah arrived there, he met with Maurice Yamiogo. He spoke with the people of the area. They loved him because he was a hero of Pan-Africanism. What was the meeting all about? Nkrumah had gone there to sign a certain deal to allow the building of a hydroelectric dam on the river Volta. And then the damming of the river Volta will give us the Volta Lake. That was what Nkrumah went there for. It was signed so beautifully and nicely. And Nkrumah and Maurice Yamiogo sat in cars and they drove in a convoy all the way from Tinkodogo as Maurice Yamiogo was seeing him off back into Ghana, his country. And this is the convoy. You can see Kwame Nkrumah and Maurice Yamiogo waving at the people. In fact, driving all the way through the bushes of Tinkodogo, coming all the way into the country Ghana. Now, interestingly, that day it rained so heavily, and the previous day it had rained. 3 days after it had rained, in fact, 3 days before rain, 2 days rain. On the day they were moving, there was also rain for some time. So a lot of the bridges were broken down and the road was very, very bad. What you might call near impassable. Look at it. They climbed on the bridge. See how they went down on the bridge. Look at the nature of the bridge. A big part of it broken down, but they drove all the way. And when Maurice Yamiogo got to the Ghana border, he waved bye-bye at this wonderful man called Kwame Nkrumah. And part of the convoy returned to Burkina Faso, at the time called Upper Volta. Kwame Nkrumah was welcomed into Ghana through Boku. In fact, Pusiga into Boku. School children were waving, clapping, in fact, waving at the president, and he decided to stop at a school to just greet the school children. Oh my God. And when he arrived, news spread all over the place that KWAME Nkrumah, the president, was in the area. 1962, the 1st of August, he arrived at a village called Kulungungu. Yes, Kulungungu. And when he arrived, he met with the school children. And then a little school girl, so beautiful, held out a bouquet of flowers. She was called Elizabeth Asantoa, and brought it to Nkrumah. While she was giving it to Nkrumah, his bodyguard, called Captain Samuel Bachman, started hearing tick-tock, 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 and he knew it was a bomb. Before the bomb exploded, he jumped onto Nkrumah and brought him down, and boom, the bomb went off. Shrapnels, pieces of the bomb entered into Nkrumah's back and sides, and also into the great man, Captain Samuel Bachman, who has never truly been celebrated in our nation. My brother, my sister, a British doctor was called in, and he was treated at the Boku Hospital by this British doctor. Remember, this was 1st August 1962. My brother, my sister, when he was treated and he came out of the hospital, that was the beginning of Nkrumah's biggest regret in the history of Ghana. Nkrumah walked straight to his wife, Fatia, with tears in his eyes. He told her something that is exclusively being told to us today by his daughter, his one and only daughter, Samia Nkrumah. Let's listen to her as she grants an interview to Sandra Babu Boateng on the breaking point. Watch her and feel the emotions. Nkrumah's biggest regret was on that day, the 1st of August, 1962. Watch this.
He got sick.
Yeah.
Now, June Milne has always claimed that in her opinion, something must have happened. It's very possible that he was poisoned. And she says that because his trusted cook, Mr. Amwa, who, I remember, who had traveled with him, and so he was with him in Guinea. There was an entourage of several men, almost 100 or so. So he died suddenly and quickly. He got ill and died very quickly. And after that, June said she felt the kitchen was never safe. I mean, there were different hands coming and going, and so she thinks that could be a factor. But I also remember vividly a story our mother told me, real life story, after the Kulungungu bombing in 1962. I mean, it's well documented, that assassination attempt on his life. So it's what happened in Upper East, Northern Ghana, after he'd met the then president of Burkina. And so the entourage was, they stopped at a school, and these young children were giving him a bouquet, and it explodes. The 2 children die on the spot, and other people, but our father's bodyguards, they push him to the ground, which is the safest position when there are explosions. But what happens? The shrapnel, the lead, goes all over his back, and he had to be hospitalized for almost a week or more. They were trying to remove it. So this is what mother said when he came out of the hospital. He told her, I don't think I'm going to live long, because too much lead has gone into my body, and it's possible that it will eventually poison me.
My brother, my sister, that is the whole story. Sad story. When Nkrumah was treated by the British doctor, he came out and went straight, come into the studio, straight to his wife and said, you know what? I don't think that I am going to live long. Too many of the bomb shrapnels have entered my body, and the doctor couldn't remove everything. I am sure that gradually, this is what is going to kill me. And it hurts me to know that I know what is killing me, yet I cannot stop it from killing me. The shrapnels were too many. The lead pieces. So I'm having lead poisoning. My brother, my sister, June Mill, who was a British journalist and executrix of Nkrumah's legacy, was at the side of Kwame Nkrumah on his deathbed, and she wrote down everything and gave us the full account. He started to grow lean. He became weak, and she knew straight away that it was nothing but poisoning. Nkrumah knew he was going to die. From the 1st of August 1962, when the bomb went off, he told his wife, right from the hospital, his encounter with the British doctor. Later, he had a Romanian doctor and went all the way to Bucharest for treatment. He believed in that doctor. The doctor used to come to Ghana and take care of him. But they say, when it is the day of death, the healer loses all his healing tricks. Kwame Nkrumah died. In fact, 10 years exactly after the silent lead poisoning, he died. And for Samia, this was the biggest regret of Kwame Nkrumah, that his life was going to be cut short, not on the battlefield, but by something that happened that was poisoning him gradually, and he knew there was no way he was going to stop it. If you don't know about death and it reaches you, most of the time there's no pain. But if you get to know that this is what you have and it's killing you silently, it looks like it even kills you faster. Today, my brother, my sister, this, according to Samia Nkrumah, is the biggest regret of Kwame Nkrumah, that he knew he was not going to live long enough to see Ghana reach the promised land. But even the little that he has done, the whole world is bearing testimony to the wonderful works, and we also in Ghana would just have nothing more to say but to say the Osagifo never dies. It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, and here we speak truth to power. When we return, we have another big story, and I need you to stick and stay. But remember to share the broadcast so many more people can be part of this. More importantly, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and everything is everything. I have a short quiz for you. We'll return after 30 seconds. Hey-ya! Hey-yo! Wayo!
Blackpot. Kuku show them.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shudemo, where we speak truth to power. And I am most excited to be with you. This is the Black Pot. And remember, we are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. You can also find us on TikTok, find us on X, and also on Instagram. We are called Blakk Empire Media. And our Blakk is spelled B-L-A-K-K. Blakk Empire TV. Blakk Empire TV. The program is called The Black Pot, Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. Now we have a second story, but before it rolls, remember to send your comments in. We're going to pick up the numbers and do serious business with this story. Number 2. Watch this. GODFRED hot again as Jakpa wakes up sleeping lion. Now when they say let the sleeping dogs lie, my brother, my sister, it simply means that the issue that is gone by, blown away, let it stay in the echelons of obscurity. That's what it means. The dead issue, let it remain dead. The Asantis have a very beautiful saying that I love. If you are dead, just enjoy your grave. When issues come and they are blown off, we normally would like them to go away and then rest in peace. But there are some issues that do not deserve to be left to sleep like sleeping dogs. And that is what Richard Jakpa is saying. Now, Richard Jakpa is an interesting personality. This is Richard Jakpa. He loves his heart and he also loves his glasses. He was a soldier, a military man. And then at a point, he was sacked from the military. They have their own terms for that. My brother, my sister, he was kicked out. We are told that he wrote a certain exam 8 solid times. He was never able to pass that because of misbehavior in the military, indiscipline in the military. He was kicked out, sent off without any honors. He has tried to respond to this in so many different interviews. But that is a fact. That is what is here with us, and we know that. So this man has some knowledge of the military, some guerrilla tactics. When President John Dramani Mahama came into power, he probably told himself, you know what? Yes, this man was kicked out of the military, but I think we can still make a very good use of him in the national security. So let me put him in charge of special operations. And then the Rambo style work began. Richard Jakpa moved from house to house, terrorizing former appointees of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I was one of those that came out and applauded and jubilated. We were tired of the 8 years of stealing, robbery, arrogance, and so on and so forth, irresponsible behavior. So when Richard Jakpa came out, ferociously, roaring like the lion, we were ready to push the lion to do more destruction on our enemies, the enemies of the state. Many condemned his style. Many others tried to unearth some really nasty things about him. But there was a certain ambulance deal. Ambulance. Some ambulances were imported into the country in the days of John Dramani Mahama. And the man in the center of the whole activity was Atu Forsen. They were still in opposition when the matter was raging like a ferocious storm. Now watch what happened next. The matter went to court, and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo wanted to see a finality to the issue. Atu Forsen must go to jail, we were told, no matter what. So GODFRED, who was the Attorney General at the time, the country's lawyer, he had to do everything possible to see Atuforsen thrown into jail. And this is GODFRED. He was the Attorney General in the days of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And according to Richard Jakpa, he has him on tape saying that the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, by hook or crook, wants Atuforsen to go to jail. It's not about you. He also had an issue which had to do with some fertilizers, the supply of some fertilizers and all that. But it's not about fertilizers. It's about Atuforsen and the ambulances. Help me to be able to pin down Atuforsen, KCL Atuforsen, Dr. KCL Atuforsen. Find this photograph. And once I get him pinned down, trust me, I have a deal with you. We will forget about you and you will go free. And this conversation supposedly happened in the house of a very learned lawyer, a very, very powerful lawyer, in fact, who was elevated all the way to the Supreme Court, Lawyer Yoni Kulendi. My brother, my sister. Now, Yoni Kulendi was probably trying to arbitrate. So he invited Richard Jakpa and the Attorney General then, GODFRED, to the truth table. Better still, the arbitration table. Let us discuss this. And when Richard Jakpa was going there, he used his old-time military tactics. He was able to plant recorders on him in very obscure places that no metal detector could find. And when he sat on the arbitration table, he recorded everybody so clearly. And GODFRED could be heard on the tape as it was played back in court. My brother, my sister, saying that, you know what? The president is so much in a hurry to see a finality to this issue. He wants to jail Dr. KCL Atuforsen to make a certain point. So it's not about you. And this is Dr. KCL Atuforsen. The whole issue was like an albatross around his neck, young and affable. He's the Minister of Finance right now, doubling also as the Minister of Defense. He has a lot on his bald head. You know what happened next? This was recorded. And the matter went to court. Richard Jakpa was exonerated and pushed out of the shackles of prison. And he went out. Now his party is in power. He's enjoying some real goodwill. He is the boss of the special operations of the almighty national security. He has power and he's spreading it around like Bekle during the Humber War. Today, he is waking up the sleeping lion. It's no more a dog, it's a lion. Watch this. Jakpa clashes with GODFRED, demands CID investigation into alleged fabrication. Oh, God have mercy. Richard Jakpa, Director of Special Operations at the National Security, has petitioned the Criminal Investigations Department, CID, of the Ghana Police Service to urgently investigate allegations that former Attorney General GODFRED attempted to fabricate evidence during the trial of Dr. Atuforsen and two others. Jakpa, who was the third accused person in the high-profile ambulance procurement case involving then minority leader Dr. KCL Atuforsen, has stated that GODFRED misconducted himself when he allegedly solicited his cooperation to incriminate Atuforsen. Unambiguous, clear. Now, in a formal petition addressed to the director of CID, Jakpa detailed that the then Attorney General wanted him to testify in a manner to incriminate the first accused, Dr. Atuforsen, and to help fast-track the conclusion of the case. Same thing that we told you. He alleged that the testimony used to incriminate Dr. Atuforsen after he opened his defense led to a phone call placed to him by GODFRED Jakpa-Dame on March 26, 2024. He said this happened when he was to appear in the High Court to continue with his evidence in chief regarding the witness statement he had filed. Now, in the phone conversation between the then Attorney General and me, which I have attached to this petition, he suggested that during cross-examination, I testified not based on matters personally perceived and understood by me, he stated. Jakpa alleged that the former Attorney General had instead wanted him to base his defense on the suggestions the AG allegedly made to him, which were intended to skew his understanding of the issues in a way that will implicate Dr. Atuforsen. Jakpa alleged further that GODFRED Jakpa-Dame wanted him to further lie to the court, stating that he was not well by procuring a false excuse duty to that effect. The former Attorney General, he said, made these suggestions to him during the purported telephone conversation. Interesting. Watch this. So in that telephone conversation, GODFRED directly engaged me on the subject of the letters of credit as an Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana, he stated in his petition. Oh gosh. He continued that Dame stated how he thought I should answer questions regarding the letters of credit during cross-examination, contrary to my honest understanding and knowledge of how letters of credit work. According to him, he disagreed with Dame's legal machinations, even though Dame insisted that it would not bear any risk to him. Wow! Shenanigans. Legal shenanigans. And this is the petition that the man Richard Jakpa has written, and it looks like this raging storm, in fact, is a tsunami. I want to see how this case will go. This is Richard Jakpa's signature that no human being dead or alive can ever sign. Look at this signature. You can tell that this is a national security person. A person of intelligence. My brother, my sister, come here. What are we talking about? What is going to happen? Dash it. GODFRED Dame is hot. You know why he's hot? The lawyer in charge of this is the lawyer who hardly loses any case. They call him the professor amongst lawyers. He is so respected. Lawyer Tadiosori. Lawyer Tadiosori was the lawyer who joined hands with Chachuchi Kata and executed the professional litigation that ousted the Chief Justice, Gertrude Esaba Araba Tokono. He was a lawyer for the GFA under Nyantechi Kwesi. My brother, my sister, he's a lawyer of high repute. Is that why GODFRED Dame is beginning, probably, to redden up like red ketchup? Is he wetting his pants as if he had a weak bladder? I am interested in seeing where the truth is going to take this message to. My brother, my sister, if you have the photo of Tadiosori, slap it and be quick with it. My brother, my sister, this is exactly what is happening. And GODFRED Dame might just be ready to spark up and make things happen. What is he going to do? Is he going to rubbish this as he did earlier? How hot is the evidence? Is Jakpa looking like a man who will let this go anytime soon? My brother, my sister, is the Black Pots, a.k.a. Koko Shonomo. And here we speak truth to power. When we return, we have yet another beautiful story to share with you. Hey, hey, yo, yo.
Blackpot. Cuckoo show man.
It's the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, and here we speak truth to power. Now let's look at your comments, and right after that, we'll bring our final story, and it's yet another very hot story. Share the broadcast, hit the notification button after subscribing, so that anytime we are on, you will be notified to watch. My name is Blakk RASTA, and let's speak from your mind. What are you thinking? What are the questions? All right. Okay, so Tita Razak, we are still waiting. Wow. Benazu says it's time. Tompo says, how are you today, my brother Blakk? I hope all is well with you by grace. Yes, I am good. Benazu says, hey, welcome. Nana Kofi TK says, God bless Ghana. Okay. Tita Razak says, I'm watching from Back Box Restaurant in Tamale City. Love and respect. Tamale Kawula. Crew shatter still reigned. Okay. And he says, Kuku show them all. Kuku show them all. Okay. So Humble Lion says, one love Blakk for God and country. Azemeti innocent is giving me the sign of David. Jato Samson Brabi says, good work. Sedu Isaka says, greetings from Tokyo. Ebenezer Ando says, more fire, my brother Blakk Rasta. Good work you're doing for Ghana. God bless you, my king. Okay. Much more. Ebenezer Ando is crying. I'm sure he's crying for KWAME Nkrumah. And he says, Ghana, why? He says, it's very sad. Baba Target says, Ghana. Jonathan Alassan, he says, Blakk, I love our first ever president, KWAME Nkrumah, never dies. Blakk, keep it up. I salute you, sir. I salute you back. Remember to, in fact, recommend this channel to many more people so we can build that great, huge family, right? Jose Coffee says, another massive master banger. Let's shift this, Blakk. London is getting cold. We need some warmth, my brother. Fire us the truth as always. Rudolph Bisigiem. Rudolph Bisigiem. He says, was waiting for you. Voice of the Patriot. All right? We are here, my brother. James Adeji says, good evening, Senior General. Today, it seems you are very late, but I'm sure you will still have a deep investigation for us, the cherished listeners. I trust your capabilities. Kelly Blacks says, waiting for you long, long time ago. Welcome, Blakk RASTA, the man of the moment. Anwar Sadak Larry says, Blakk RASTA, please feed us with more rumors about the criminals called politicians. I like how he says rumors. Yao Adobo says, good evening, my prof, true son of Africa. Frank Marie Rosario says, Blakk RASTA, thumbs up to you for speaking truth to power. Anwar Sadat Larry says, may Allah bless you, Blakk RASTA. Kuku show them all. Emmanuel Anya says, good evening, Blakk. I have been your biggest fan from afar, but today is my first time texting on your show. Ghana should hold you in high esteem because you are a national treasure. And your name is Emmanuel Ania. Love you, my brother. Love and respect, and thanks so much for those kind comments. No Bab says they never even met. Which one of them never met? But Nkrumah was thinking ahead. He wanted to unite the whole of Africa. Kelly Blakk says, how far about Oral, Edubuahi, Chairman Wuntumi, and others so far? More stories coming up. You know, when Black Rasta is quiet, we are underground. And when we come out, we roar. You understand? Things are happening in the country. My brother, my sister, you know what you should do for me? Subscribe to the channel, recommend this channel to many others, share the broadcast when we are on, because when we hit hard and bad. Nobab says, Francis, God's way, Jata says, we are outside the fence watching you live. Come here. Woyo. Nobab says, she wants it to be Accra International Airport. Yes, she's not selfish. She says, my father already has his name, courtesy Ghana and Africa. You don't need to name the airport after my father. Just name it after what my father called it, Accra International Airport. But right now, as it stands, the Ghana community, the Ghana state, doesn't really seem to like the name Accra. And we told you the history. They want Greater Accra region to be called Gadangbe region. Nobab says she wants it to be called Accra International Airport. Yes, if we call it Accra International Airport now, and it comes out that the name of Accra is now changed to Gadangbe State, Accra becomes beans, as we say in Ghana, right? Kofi Azuma says, greetings to my brother Black Rasta on this live stream here today. Big up to you. Nobab says, whoever decided to name that airport Kotoka failed Ghana. I agree with you. Take two. Take your two. That's correct. Oh yes, many more comments coming in. You can send them via YouTube. They can also come via what is called Facebook. My name is Black Rasta. And now to our final story. Story number 3. Whee! Watch this. Mad minister must be sacked. Kwesi Pratt fingers Haruna Iddrisu. Please put a question mark at the end. Haruna Iddrisu? Now, my brother, my sister, Kwesi Pratt has spoken. And whenever Kwesi Pratt speaks, it carries a lot of power and energy. I admire him a lot. Kwesi Pratt is not happy that some appointees of the president seem to be so much in a hurry to succeed him. Barely a year after being in power. It's only about 9 months in power. And people are already scheming to overtake the president and succeed him. For him, he thinks that it is sad. Now he fingered out one minister and called that minister mad. My brother, my sister, who could this minister be? Today, many people called me and said, Black Rasta, who do you think this minister is? And I also put the question out to many more people to find out who this minister is. My brother, my sister, but watch this from Ghana Web. What is the story from Ghana Web? My brother, my sister, where Kwesi Pratt is talking. What's wrong with this mad minister? Kwesi Pratt goes wild. Veteran journalist Kwesi Pratt Jr. has unleashed a blistering attack on some appointees of the ruling government, accusing them of engaging in misbehavior. Now, according to him, some appointees are in a hurry to put in place plans to become successors to President Mahama, who will not be eligible to contest the next general elections after 2 successful terms. Now, speaking of Metro TV's Good Morning Ghana show, Kwesi Pratt called on President John Mahama to be bold enough to sack such appointees before they become detractors and derail the government's focus. He stated that at least the campaign for the next presidential candidate of the NDC to succeed John Dramani Mahama has not started. However, he added that there are some few people who are making statements which suggest that they may be interested. My prescription has been clear and public. I have said that the president should sack those in his administration who have begun misbehaving, because what they are doing actually amounts to misbehavior. He took a swipe at a particular minister whose name or ministry he refused to mention, and angrily lambasted the minister for harboring presidential ambitions. There's a particular minister, and as I sit here, I still cannot tell what program his ministry is implementing. I am still confused about this very crucial ministry. He added that he once read in the dailies that the said minister, whose name he refused to disclose, discussed leaders chosen by God and stated that if God chooses him, he will become a leader. Wow. So I said, what is wrong with this mad minister? He's mad. You can't even handle that ministry well now. And then God will make him president. What is wrong with him? I don't know how he came to the conclusion that he too can be president. Whether it is a reflection of himself he saw in the mirror or whatever, he fumed. He wondered why President Mahama should supposedly permit the next 3 years and 4 months of his administration to be wasted by some of his appointees. My prescription is simple. Sack them, teach them a lesson. Don't let them mess your legacy. He emphasized, dash it. So I went to town and I decided to interview people and find out who this mad minister could be. And out of the 25 people that I interviewed, 20 of them said is Haruna Iddrisu. This is Haruna Iddrisu. Now, how did they come by Haruna Iddrisu? Listen attentively. Now, the names that are coming out right now, my brother, my sister. Number 1, Julius Deborah. It's clear that he's interested in the presidency. The general of all the insects, General Mosquito. It is said that he is also interested in the presidency after Mahama. Then also there is Kwabena Dufour. But it looks like for some time now, people have spoken to him and told him that, you know what, by 2028, you would be pushing 84. It's better you sit back and just guide some of the more youthful ones. It looks like he's listening to that, and he is not really showing so much interest in the presidency anymore. In fact, the other person is Haruna Iddrisu. In all quarters of Ghana, when you ask about who the next president from the NDC side, in fact, the presidential aspirant would be, these are the names you would hear. And Kwesi Pratt said, minister. So for that matter, Julius Deborah is not a minister. Hey, Kwabena Dufour is not a minister. Hey, General Mosquito is only an insect. He's not a minister. The only minister in there is Haruna Iddrisu. But what does our research say? Our research says otherwise. Now, I went around reading to find out which minister in the Mahama government, the government that just came into being, has been asked about being president. And he mentioned that is God that makes people leaders. And if God says he should be a leader, he might just end up being the next president. As Kwesi Pratt said, simple investigation. Haruna only 2 days ago was at a certain polytechnic, a tertiary institution, where he debunked and almost cursed students for talking about his presidential ambitions. He told them, hey, I am here as a minister of state. I am here to help my president accomplish exactly what he promised. Nothing about presidency. I'm not interested. He was point blank with that. And I thought that that was bold enough. So it couldn't have been Haruna. You know who it is? Do you know him? You know this man? He's called Eric Opoku. Am I correct? Eric Opoku. He's an MP and a minister, I am told. My brother, my sister, the minister of what? Do you know? Agriculture. Food and agriculture. I truly was shocked when my research came out that no, simple Google search. Who has made those utterances? Kwesi Pratt couldn't have been wrong. Who could this person be? We always try to find a missing jinx in the story. And boom, it came out that yes, this man had made those utterances before. And Kwesi Pratt is angry that, hey, you Eric Opoku, we don't even know what you are doing in your ministry there. We don't even know what policies you are bringing out. And you too think that you can be president? There are some who do not agree. They say anybody can be president. If a mosquito wants to be president, why can't a grasshopper want to be a president too? My brother, my sister, the presidency, does it have any identity? Must you have a particular face, or it comes with a certain achievement? And I think that is where Kwesi Pratt is going. He thinks that this man is Mr. Doolittle. If my research serves me right, if it is this man, my brother, my sister, then we are in trouble. Is he going to respond? Maybe he will not respond because his name was not directly mentioned. But what do you think? Do you think that all appointees of the president should denounce and refrain from their presidential ambitions till it is time to start campaigning? They should not even give hints. If they are asked about presidency, they should bluntly say they are not interested in any presidency. But some of them still give the hints that they are interested. Like my very good friend, according to what I saw. Has any other person heard or seen this interview I'm talking about? Has anybody read the dailies that Kwesi Pratt read? Did it point to this man? Is it mathematically correct? Or have we misplaced the focus light this time around? It's the Blakk pot, aka Kulungungu. And this man was born in 1970. 1970. So that gives him, how many years do you know? 1970. That's about 57. Tell about, am I correct? Yeah, 1970. Calculation, quick calculation. Yeah. Oh, okay, that's about 55. It gives him about 55 years. So he's still young. He can push on. But I think the point Kwesi Pratt is trying to make is that they have given you some work to do. Accomplish it. Make a name. Finish it up. And then you can ask for a bigger job. It's the Blakk pot, aka Kulungungu, where we speak truth to power. Take your final comments. And we'll be out of here. All right? Okay, Kofi Azuma says greetings to my brother Blakk Rasta on this live streaming here today. Big up to you. No Bob says whoever decided to name this airport Kotoka Field, Ghana. Kofi Azuma says greetings to all my brothers and sisters here. We love you all this blessed Thursday. And No Bob says naming the entry point to your country after the one who overthrew the founder speaks volumes. Mohammed Banjaya one says, Anula Mbiel Alhamdulillah for being in the live session today. My notification vanished too. Yes, please keep clicking on the notification. Sometimes, I don't know, it just vanishes. For some reason we don't understand. Thank Allah is restored. Sahakana Biale. Lumubum Katichama. Lick the fire and let us go. That is what he's saying. The time is here. Sakani. There's no time. All right? And he says, Warrior is signed MC Scorpion. James Mawunyo Yevu says, like and share. Ania Do Nani says, good job, my brother. Kofi Azuma says, no bap. Hey, hi, dear. And Johnson Levi says, Black Rasta, your eloquence and intelligence, top notch. Salute. I take that as a compliment. Love and respect, my brother. All right, so many more comments coming in. And watch this. It says, Kofi Azuma says, big up to you all here. And it says, make sure all of you watching this live stream right now, click on the like button and subscribe and donate to the channel. And it says, make sure you all watching this live stream right now have called all your friends and family members. That Black Rasta is live streaming. Oh, yes. And speaking nothing but the real truths on what's going on in Ghana and the whole of Africa. Kofi Azuma continues, Black Rasta, thanks for the teaching here today. Atule Awene says, Awene. And Kofi Azuma comes back, says, President John Mahama gave a great speech today here in New York City. Kudos, Mr. President, we love you. Kobe Kwesi says, Black Rasta, sometimes your ignorance as a Pan-Africanist is unbelievable. It's like that, we are all learning. Sometimes we make mistakes. We don't know everything. Especially, a lot of these events happened before we were born. So, we try to learn. I wish you had mentioned, oh, you said this which was not correct. Or you said that that was not correct. Then we would be able to look at some of these things. But if you make a blanket statement like this, it makes me wonder, is this guy trying to intimidate me to thinking that he knows? And normally the people who say, oh, you know nothing, if you check their heads, even air, you don't find it. But that's the answer I can give you. James Adeji says, this story touches me emotionally. Kofi Azuma says, President John Mahama is the real president of Ghana. He's not a toy president like the last president of Ghana. I agree with you. Oh, yes. Many more comments coming in, and we are happy to read them. Kelly Black says, President Mahama has really made my day, and I'm so very proud of him as my president. Not to talk about Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Well, Powerhouse says, Black Rasta, when crime goes unpunished, people repeat same. I agree with you. Kofi Azuma says, Black Rasta, expose them. Zacha Emmanuel, a.k.a. Governor, says, power of the truth. Kofi Azuma comes back and says, shout out to my young brother, Kevin Taylor, and Johnny Hughes, Free Mind, Woody Mara, and that big-time DJ Kimo in Bolgatanga. Emmanuel Ania says, Black, my prayers for you has always been that nothing corrupts you, and may you continue to speak truth to power without fear of favor. Amen. Muhammad Banjia says, alhamdulillah, for being in the live session today. Yes, and I think we read this earlier. Kofi Azuma says, Black Rasta, what is the update on your ganja farm? Still looking for the license. And when we grab the license, we will make sure it happens. Mark Romeo Fori says, respect Professor Blakk. Abdul Gafaru Cyrilla says, heat, my brother Rasta. May Allah Almighty bless you, uncle. Thank you. Ajoko Frank says, respect. Rashida Iddrisu says, Black Rasta, Kawula. All right. Rashida Iddrisu says, Black Rasta, Kawula. And Akudibila Adamu Hamidu says, respect. Hope Chifwaka says, good evening, Black Rasta. How are you doing? Love and respect, my brother. And thanks so much for sticking around. We love you and we never take you for granted. Rashida Iddrisu says, Black Rasta Kawula. Alafi. Akudibila Adamu Hamidu says, respect. And hope Chifwaka says, good evening, Black Rasta. Isaac Abedu says, keep the fire on. And Abdullah Dagara Abdul Rahim says, Ghanaians need to rethink. It's very painful. I think he's talking about the Nkrumah story and he's shedding tears. Rebecca Akatwe says, this is so biased and unfair to Honorable Haruna. He hasn't for once expressed that. We made it clear. We made it clear. Yes, we made it very clear, right? Kofi Azuma says, make sure you all have clicked on the like button and subscribe and donate to this channel. Now, James Mawunyo Yevu says, good evening, Blakk. Woyoy. Please, special shout out to DSP retired Holotu Emmanuel, as a former regional DOFSU coordinator, the man who introduced me to Blackport. Kukushonamo. Move of fire. Kofi Azuma says, the law is the law. I agree with you. And not an ass. James Adeji says, keep the good work for Ghana. Anwar Sadat Larry says, good evening, Black Rasta. I hate it when I hear some of these comments insulting. I hate it. Well, I'm used to that. In fact, normally people attack you when they cannot put you down. You see, that's what I've observed. When you are too intelligent for them. I think it's Martin Luther King or Marcus Garvey, one of them, said that it is not our ignorance that shocks them. It is our intelligence. When they realize that you are so intelligent, they find a way of hating you so that you can slacken down. It's like in the school when you realize that some girl is more beautiful than you and you want the girl to feel that she's not beautiful. We've seen that, right? Meanwhile, deep in your skin, you wish you were this person. How many of us know this kind of empty tactics? There's a very brilliant guy in the school. Then some people are so envious and jealous. You know what they do? They say, now, these simple things that answers that you're giving, you think that you are smart. When you're sure, even class 1 children can do what you are doing. Meanwhile, deep inside them, they know they can't do it. You understand? We have grown to a level where we know some of these things. Bring some of these people. Even radio discussions, TV discussions, you see somebody saying, who doesn't know this thing? This thing you are talking about, class 1 children all know that. And what are you here doing? You think you are making any good argument? This is nonsense. Next time, don't bring me up and join me with this person. I want intellectual arguments. Now, if you take your time and say, I said this, tell me what your understanding is about it, you'll be shocked. Like the other day, I saw an interview which a gentleman was saying, what Abronya said, and then these people are doing this is wrong. They should never have done that. I'm so angry that they are doing that. What Abronya said, what did he say wrong? And the interviewer asked, what did Abronya say? And the gentleman said, I don't know. How many of you saw that tape? Ish. You are busily defending. You don't know what the guy even said. Now, when you are asked, sometimes they say that to let you lose your guard and feel like they know. Humble yourself and ask them. You'll be shocked that they are dead ignorant. They don't know. And they won't humble and learn. We have gone beyond those inferior tactics. You understand? So don't worry about it, man. We're good. Anwar Sadat Larry says, but I understand you when you don't reply them. You are wise, Black Rasta. Keep it up. Yeah, but this platform is very decent, right? Just once in a while we have a few people who don't really know what we are doing. But later they become disciples. That's the good thing. Yeah. After they come and insult us, they go back and realize that, hey, Charlie, wrong me too. Then they become disciples. But if we fight them off and block them, oh, they are gone. We won't see them again. But we need all of them. Because you can't take us for granted. We are fighting for a better Ghana. That's it. That's it. We've been doing this for the past how many years? Some of you were not even born. Some. In fact, I started doing radio in 1997. First time I sat on radio was 1997. And this has been the message that I've been giving from that time till now. 97, how old was I? 23 years or something? Today I'm 51. Kwesi Pratt has been doing same. Kwesi has been doing same. If we don't have anything at all, we have experience. But I appreciate this. Paul says, call them out, Blakk. Yes, we'll do that. Okay? Yeah, call them out. So, it is what it is. And then the Agric minister. Okay. Somebody said the Agric minister, Eric Opoku. Okay. All right. So, you know, right? All right. So, you also read it, right? You also saw that thing, right? Okay, so that's exactly who I thought. 1970 with 55. 55. Well, so that's a confirmation. It means I wasn't the only person who did the research. Many other people saw it. I'm not going to tell you that I called Kwesi Pratt and he said this is the person that I referred to. No. He wants to remain who he is. He wants to stay there. And if he wanted people to know, he would have said it. But he wanted us to do our research. And it's my duty to research and bring it to you. It's been the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. When we return tomorrow, we have something interesting to show you. I'm going to be out of town tomorrow, but we will still have some beautiful content for you. Keep hooking up on this show. And we are just putting things in place so that the full-fledged TV can come out big. Please continue supporting us. Don't go nowhere. Hey ya! Hoyo! Hoyo! Come on!